stood when others fell, our Savior, who carried us from darkness to dawn, our prophet, who spoke the truths of our soul, our African liberator, who broke the chains, who shattered the walls. He walked with courage, he spoke with fire, he rose with spirit, he dreamed with vision. We honor you, we praise you, we follow your light, our hero, our savior, our prophet, our African liberator.
Ibrahim Traoré. We the Ghanaian citizens, majority of the Ghanaian youth citizens support Captain Ibrahim Traoré in whatever he's doing. We support you 100%. Now, Captain, even in your struggle times like this, if you need Ghanaian citizens to come and support you fight and to liberate yourself, we the citizens of Ghana, we are ever ready. Just come and pick us and we are going to support you. Because we cannot afford to sit down for Captain Ibrahim Traoré to go just like Thomas Sankara just went off, just like Gaddafi was taken off, just like Osadefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was taken off, just like Patrice Lumumba was taken off. We cannot afford for Captain Ibrahim Traoré to also be taken off. It is impossible. So Captain Ibrahim Traoré, anytime you need us, any day, anytime, Ghanaian citizens are ever ready to support you. And we support you 100%. As an African, give this video a million share. Just like you give to any other video. Give this video a million share. Now, the revolution has begun. Aluta.
Who stood when others fell, our Savior, who carried us from darkness to dawn, our prophet, who spoke the truths of our soul, our African liberator, who broke the chains, who shattered the walls. He walked with courage, he spoke with fire, he rose with spirit, he dreamed with vision. We honor you, we praise you, we follow your light, our hero, our savior, our prophet, our African liberator.
What's happening in Burkina Faso must be supported. What's happening in Mali must be supported. What's happening in Niger must be supported. If you care the least bit about our future, how else are we going to get France out of Africa? How else are we going to get Britain, Germany, all those former colonizers? They're now in as multinationals, siphoning billions out of Africa, using safe havens to hide their returns. We know they're here. They are now wolf in sheep's clothing. What is it going to take? If you look at the move that Niger made, by simply saying, France, you can no longer buy our uranium for 80 cents a kilo, when we know very well you're selling it for 200 euros per kilo. Niger was realizing about 1 billion out of the sales of its uranium a year, while France was realizing close to 300 billion. That one move alone, when Niger said, if you want our uranium, 200 euros a kilo, please. Immediately, 300 billion. 1 million. It's not going to take much to change Africa. We got what it takes. If there's one thing we're very fortunate of, we are endowed with everything the rest of the world needs. The truth of the matter is, we don't need the world. The world needs Africa. we really know that and believe in it and are ready to stand up and proclaim who we are. And let them know. But I've sat in meetings where I've seen ministers, America, can you help us with this? Europe, can you help us? Begging endlessly for something that we have. Whatever they are giving you is what they stole from us. And they are giving you peanuts. When are we going to stop being outsmarted by these people? They come smiling at you. They come to give you aid. You know very well that's your money. But we're so grateful. I once went to the World Bank. Oh, Ambassador, we have money for the African Union. Please, when the chairman comes. So the deputy chair came, and we went. They had $15 million for us. $5 million for the whole African Union. And here's the kicker. They were only going to give us 50% of that. And then when we can show them what we have done with the 7.5 million, then we can have the other 7.5. Blatantly insulting us. And I'm not supposed to say anything. I got my deputy chair, so I need to shut up. But I asked to go to the bathroom. And I called the chair. I said, could you please come down the hall? I said, let's not take that money. I don't know about you, but I feel highly and royally insulted. Treat you like a child. You don't know how to handle money. So we'll just give you 7.5 million. Let's see what you do with it. And then we may or may give you the rest. It's the same thing they're doing at the United Nations. When Africa is supposed to be at the UN Security Council as the 6th and 7th members of the UN Security Council. But you can't have veto power. So come on in, Africa. Oh, we got a kiddie chair over here for you. Sit over there, we got some cookies. Sit over there and be quiet while we take care of business. And we entertain that. Wow. What's wrong with this? What gives me hope is that we have a vibrant African youth who are saying enough is enough. We are not taking this anymore. This abuse has got to come to an end. The exploitation of the African continent has got to come to an end.
Why is the Chinese running the planet right now? The Chinese is really the superpower of the planet. You know why? They're the most organized people. And a lot of Chinese don't like Mao Zedong. And Mao Zedong did a lot of bad things. But let me tell you what Mao Zedong did do. When he took over China, China was considered a debtor nation. Nobody respected him. Nobody paid him no attention. When Mao Zedong went to Russia, Stalin wouldn't even shake his hand. He said, the Chinese are so beneath me, I'm not even going to shake their hand. What did Mao Zedong do? He went back to China. He said, oh, yeah, the world mocks us now. They will need us later. Guess what he did? He started a cultural revolution, which he borrowed from the Honorable Marcus Garvey. He sold being Chinese back to the Chinese people. And then guess what he did? He sent Chinese youth all around the world to study what everybody else was doing and to learn how to make what they were making. And the genius of the Chinese Revolution lies in the fact that they didn't try to compete with the Americans, the French, the Belgians, the British. You know what they did? They said, we simply going to learn how they make what they make.
Go back home
And make the best replica of it and sell the replica.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? The Chinese make everything. I was over there. Listen, when I was in the malls in China, this is the crazy thing about China. In America, if you want to buy some bootleg merchandise, you got to go to the back street, right? Mm-hmm. Guess where they sell it at in China? Right in their mall. Bro, they were selling fake Jordans in the mall. Beautiful mall. Like you go to a mall here, imagine walking to a mall in a store full of fake Jordans, a store full of fake True Religion, a store full of fake Ralph Lauren. I couldn't believe, in the open, no hiding, because remember, they communists, so they don't believe in capitalism, so they don't respect it. They don't respect it at all. So in China, you can buy anything bootleg you want made by the white man. They're going to sell it to you in open air, no secret. So I ain't going to lie. I went crazy. I said, damn this. I'm taking some of this back to America. So, it's all about organization. And Mao Zedong sent his youth around the world to learn what everybody else was making. And he decided that China was going to basically become the dollar store and the Walmart of the planet Earth. You know why the white man can't do nothing with the yellow man? The reason the Americans and the British and the French can't stop China, this is what China did. This was genius. Capitalism is all about doing what? Paying $1 for it, selling it for $1,000. Right?
Right.
Air Jordans cost about $7. We're going to sell them for $250. That's capitalism. We're going to make, 100-fold profit, right? Mm-hmm. So the communists, the Chinaman said, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to compete with them. 2/3 of the world lives on less than $1 a day. 2/3 of the world live on less than they can't afford to buy all this. So why we want to make a car to compete with Mercedes? Why we want to make a sneaker to compete with Air Jordan? Most people around the world will never buy that. They can't afford it. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make merchandise that the poor can buy. Mm-hmm. China caters to the poor. The problem with America can't get rid of China. How do you put somebody out of business who's underselling everything you produce? Mm-hmm. You see that? You can't mess with them. Everybody buys from China. The whole Asia buy from China. Africa buy from China. The Caribbean buy from China. Central and South America buy from China. We buy from China. How you going to get rid of them? China has made themselves indispensable to the existence of the world. Cheap clothes, they sell it. Cheap food, they got it. The dollar store stuff. Where most of your dollar store stuff come from? China.
Made in China, yes.
So how the hell are you going to get rid of China when China is taking care of the poor people who represent the majority of the earth? Check it out. Basically, the Chinese are saying to the white man, you made the world poor through capitalism. And I'm going to cater to the people you made poor so they never need you again.
Hi, Go-Getters. So today we are diving into something extraordinary that is happening right now in West Africa and that nobody is talking about. Imagine this. You made it big abroad. You've got the cars, the mansion, the bank account, everything they told you success looks like. Then one day you pack it all up and head back to the place where you came from. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what is happening in Burkina Faso. Millionaires who've built fortunes across the globe are returning home in unprecedented numbers. But why would anyone trade Western luxury for a developing nation? The answer might surprise you, and in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the hidden forces reshaping this African nation that could change the development across the whole continent. Stay with me. Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa, hasn't been known as an investment hotspot. And for decades, it followed the familiar pattern: rich in resources but struggling in poverty. The conventional wisdom said success meant living. And that's exactly what many talented Burkinabés did. But here's where things get interesting. While Western economists predicted continued dependence on foreign aid, something unexpected happened. And that's exactly when President Ibrahim Traoré stepped in. When he came in, most international observers expected business as usual. Instead, he did something that shocked the global financial community. He rejected the IMF and the World Bank loans that had been the backbone of the country's economy for generations. Now, you might be thinking that sounds like economic suicide. That's certainly what experts predicted. But what happened next challenges everything we've been told about development in Africa. Now, instead of following the traditional playbook, Traoré's government went in a completely different direction, using their own resources for their own people. Take gold for instance. Burkina Faso is Africa's fourth largest gold producer. But for decades, that gold left the country in raw form, with profits flowing to foreign companies. Traoré's government therefore made a simple but powerful change. Process more of that gold locally. Keep more of the value in Burkinabe hands. Seems obvious, right? But it's rarely done in other African countries. And that was just the beginning. The government launched massive infrastructure projects, new roads, urban developments, and energy initiatives, creating a foundation for genuine economic growth. But here's what's fascinating. They weren't just random projects. They were strategically selected to create the conditions that will make returning home attractive to the wealthy diaspora. And in a minute, I will show you how this master plan is working in ways nobody anticipated. Rather than begging for foreign investment, Traoré did something different. He directly called for Burkinabes abroad to redirect their investments back home. His message wasn't just about money, but it was about pride, about legacy, and about building something meaningful. Now, we've all heard this kind of patriotic appeals before, and usually they are met with polite applause and then ignored. But something different happened here. The wealthy diaspora actually responded. They began returning home physically and bringing their capital, expertise, and global connections with them. And the real question is, why now? Why is this appeal working while similar calls across Africa have fallen flat for decades? The answer reveals something more profound about what truly motivates wealth creators. Now, this movement isn't happening because of a single factor. It's a perfect storm of conditions creating both push and pull forces. First, let's address the pull factors. What's drawing people back? One thing you should notice that Traoré's government created tangible incentives like tax breaks for returning investors, simplified business registration, and a genuine commitment to reducing corruption. They also required foreign companies operating in Burkina Faso to establish headquarters locally. This created an ecosystem where returning entrepreneurs plug into existing business networks. But there is something even powerful at work here. Something that doesn't fit neatly into economic models. The wealthy diaspora isn't just returning for financial opportunities. They are actually coming back because Traoré's vision offers something that money can't buy: purpose and legacy. Think about it. Making another million abroad might increase your bank balance, right? But building industries in your homeland, that creates a legacy that outlives you. And that leads us to the second part, which was the push factors. Many Burkinabes abroad, despite their success, have experienced the ceilings that exist for Africans in Western nations. The subtle racism, the sense of never fully belonging. Now, contrast that with returning home as a respected business owner, contributing to a national renaissance. Which would you choose? Now, let's quickly look at the citizenship initiative of Ibrahim Traoré. In January 2025, Traoré introduced something really revolutionary: an executive order granting citizenship to descendants of Burkinabe prisoners of war trafficked during the transatlantic slave trade. This isn't just symbolic. It's part of a broader decade of return movement, reconnecting Afro-descendants with their roots. Burkina Faso isn't just welcoming back its direct diaspora. It's actually opening its arms to a wider African diaspora who may have lost their specific connections to the continent generations ago. So the message is clear, right? This isn't just about money. It's about healing historical wounds and building a new future. What's happening in Burkina Faso right now might seem like a small story in a world of flashier headlines. But I believe we are witnessing the beginning of something historic. This could actually be a blueprint for a new kind of African development, one led by Africans themselves, funded by African capital, and designed for Africans' needs. If this model succeeds, we might look back at this moment as the beginning of a profound shift in how wealth and talent flow between Africa and the rest of the world. So what do you think? Could this approach work in other African countries? Is this the beginning of a broader return movement?